So next, we're talking about the cell phone giants, and we're going to start with MTN, and that is the MTN Zakhele scheme. Remember, that scheme owns 4% of MTN. The deal was structured some years ago, but it's approaching maturity or approaching closure. Craig's going to explain all of this to us in a minute. Current market capitalization, 6.23 billion rand, so substantial. Trading on the JSE has been since November 2015. It got a bit sloppy before that, but it is there on that platform now. It references the MTN share price, which itself has been in the news far too often, what with its Nigeria debacle and its change of managements and what have you. But the MTN Zakhele entity obviously gets cash flows from MTN, so it's got a PE ratio we think of about 8.76. Doesn't pay dividends because those flows get used in the financing of the venture. Craig, I'm going to go straight to you. I mean, the way this thing now is approaching closure is interesting because there's some options apparently that are being floated.
Yes, which is why MTN Zakhele is in the news a lot, is that management has come and said, look, you'll be presented with these three options in the coming months. Okay. So the scheme matures at the end of November, around about 24 November. And investors before then will have to indicate which of the options they're going to go with.
Broadly speaking, what will the options be?
Broadly speaking, take cash.
Okay.
Take a combination of cash and MTN shares.
Ordinary shares.
MTN Ords.
Yep.
Or participate in a new deal, the terms of which are still to be made known. So,
because obviously the entity itself owns all these MTN shares, which are worth however many billions, and then there's a debt facility which will be retired potentially, and then that's where the unlock comes from. But the deal that would be, I mean, conceptually, what kind of deal would it be? Similar to the one we've got at the moment?
Wait, just to add on that, you remember the MTN Zakhele has had a debt of somewhere around 3 billion rands and a deferred tax liability of 1.4 billion. Do they have the amount of dividends to actually finance that debt prior to the maturity of the structure?
No, so they're going to have to sell off some MTN shares to settle outstanding debt and liabilities.
And what number are we looking at?
Well, it will depend on the MTN share price in November.
Oh, okay.
So
it would be extremely helpful if the damned MTN share price were to get back to where it was, which was like 230 or 240 or something.
So as things stand, the share price is now the main driver of value.
Yeah.
So when the deal was done, divvy flow and interest rates over the 6 years, those will also could have a meaningful impact. But now we're 5.5 years down the line. It's actually now the share price. The
share price chart can appear now because what that shows is the price on the JSE of the MTN Zakhele since November last year. So you can see that people are battling a little bit, but there's been a lot of news here. So the uptick at the end on the right-hand side relates probably to the closure of the fine situation, etc., etc.
Yes.
But to come back, if you buy them now, you can of course consider your options later. If the deal is attractive that they're offering, which will be to roll over some portion of it, and if it's attractive to a lot of people, then they might do more of that. They might even sweeten it a bit, and maybe the ordinary shareholders of MTN will throw in a bit of extra value in order to retain the empowerment credits, etc.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they actually put on the table, whether it's a continuation of the existing deal in some format or whether there is an entirely new deal put on the table. I think as things stand, there is a bit of value in Zakhele now. And you've got this optionality of potentially this deal favouring MTN Zakhele shareholders over non-shareholders.
Right. How do you feel about MTN itself right now?
I always liked MTN, so I'm still hot on MTN.
And there's potential for the Nigerian situation to sort of recede in people's memories.
Exactly.
The fine, it was colossal, but it gets paid and people start talking about the future. New management, but only coming through in future months. That seems to be a net positive.
Yeah, some guys already in, so it's definitely good. And I like the fact that MTN is moving to more e-commerce like businesses. So
okay, much as I'd like to carry on talking about this, we're like way out of time. So are we hot on this one?
Yeah, there is a discount it's trading at a discount to its net asset value. So we got a value of just north of 90 and it's trading at about 77.
Okay.
Obviously, I think with the volatility of the MTN share price, I think that some of that discount is justified.
Yes.
But I think it's a little too big. So based on that, I'm hot.
And you're hot on MTN, so you've got to be hot on this thing.
Yes.
Okay, good. Right.